Meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Township of Washington in accordance with the requirements of the New Jersey statutes regarding open public meetings. Notice of this meeting was legally advertised in the Courier Post and the South Jersey Times and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building. Fire exits are located through the double doors on your left and your right. Please silence all mobile devices. This meeting is being videotaped. Anyone who does not wish to be seen on television may be excused. This will be shown on Channel 9 and on Verizon Channel 36 every week, Sunday at 9 p.m., Wednesday at 7 p.m., Friday at 10 p.m., and Saturday at 10 p.m., and will continue until the next meeting. Flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Here.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Here.
Mrs. Williams?
Here.
Mr. Longfellow?
Here.
Mr. Perry?
Here.
Mayor Gattinelli?
Here.
Mr. Platt?
Here.
And Mr. Gunter?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we're going to start the meeting off with a couple of mayoral presentations. So take it away, Joanne.
Good evening. Can I have the Gilbert family come up? Thomas Gilbert and his family. Thank you. We're going to be presenting a proclamation this evening. That's fine. Hi, Thomas. How are you? Good. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. This evening, we are presenting this proclamation to Eagle Scout Court of Honor, Thomas Gilbert. As Mayor of Washington Township and members of the Township Council, we wish to recognize Thomas Gilbert, Scout Troop 81, for achieving the rank of Eagle Scout. The first Eagle Scout rank was awarded in September 1912. To earn the designation of Eagle Scout, the candidate must complete and pass rigid requirements that includes earning a total of 21 merit badges. Thomas's appreciation for the police encouraged him to plan and construct a paver area, 2 stone columns, and a bench inscribed with the Gloucester County Police Academy's motto, Education, Knowledge, and Training, and completed his project in July 2018. In January 2019, Thomas was selected for the Vigil Honor, which is the highest honor that the Order of the Arrow can bestow upon its members. Thomas currently serves as the Old Colony District Venturing President and the Lenape Lodge 8 Vice Chief of Administration. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Mayor, and the members of Township Council of Washington Township do hereby declare this proclamation to be an official document authorized by the Township Council and presented to Thomas Gilbert on this day, the 13th day of March 2019. Congratulations.
We're good.
You gotta get our good side. Okay, now I'd like to ask our employee of the month to come up, Shirley Feek. This was brought to my attention from Chief. Shirley is a model employee who works diligently. The police headquarters is open 24/7, houses our municipal court, encounters a steady stream of foot traffic, and is the office building for approximately 100 employees. Shirley is an essential part of maintaining our building, keeping it clean and safe and orderly. She never complains about anything that is asked of her. She has great initiative in organizing her tasks and performing them well. She is well liked and appreciated by our entire staff. This is from Chief himself. I greatly appreciate everything that you do. I see and hear your dedication from him, and I appreciate that. And that's why you're our Employee of the Month this month. Thank you so much for all that you do.
Next up, we have a budget update. Colette Backich, our CFO.
Good? Good. Is it on? Is that good? Okay. How about I just start? I want to say good evening. The Finance Department is continuing on course with the 2019 budget preparations. The expenditures have been reviewed, questioned, and adjusted in order for the 2019 budget to remain streamlined and suitable. Along with the expenditures, the budget comprises of revenues anticipated for this year. The Finance Department has reviewed the previous 3 to 4 years of revenues anticipated and the actual revenues realized in order to be as accurate for the upcoming budget year. Revenues vary from fees and permits, interest earned on idle funds, state aid, and in some cases, special items that may be non-recurring. We are confident that we are anticipating revenues in order to cover all of our expenditures. Washington Township annual financials are drafted, and we are currently awaiting for the state to make some adjustments to the financial statements before the report can be filed. Due to modifications requested to be completed by the state, it has been stipulated that there will not be any penalties for not filing before March 11, 2019. The Finance Department has also been able to review the preliminary figures from the 2019 budget year and the fund balance total. We are confident in the continuation of a fiscally sound and responsible surplus. I would like to take the time to review the countywide initiative, which was implemented in 2019 regarding the county tax assessor's calendar for tax appeals. Although the budget is almost at completion, we cannot begin the adoption process until May. The county has changed the tax appeal filing dates, and the tax list will be provided to Washington Township on May 5th. Washington Township has also provided the net asset valuation calculation, which we then can move forward quickly to have the budget adoption process begin with introduction and review. Also, I'd like to remind residents that this administration is offering small group budget meetings. These meetings are the perfect occasion to ask questions and or discuss ideas that can be beneficial for the township and its residents. The dates are available for these meetings, which are posted on our website. We also have 2 scheduled open budget meetings with council members and residents to review and discuss budget line items. If you have any questions regarding this budget, this is the perfect opportunity to discuss them in the open budget meetings. I would like to say thank you, and if the council has any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
Thank
All
you.
right. Have a good evening.
Okay, moving on to the bill list. I'd like to get approval of the bill list for March 13th, 2019. Can I get a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Moving on to minutes. We get approval for the regular minutes for February 23rd, 2019. Need a motion to approve?
Make that
Minutes?
Good.
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Okay, moving on to ordinances. Ordinance 6, ordinance amending Chapter 285 of the Code of Township of Washington entitled Zoning. This ordinance is up for adoption. Can I get a motion to open to the public?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this ordinance, step forward. Seeing no one, can I get a motion to close?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Ordinance 8. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm jumping ahead. Can I get a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Okay, now ordinance 8. Ordinance amending the Delsey Drive redevelopment plan to readjust the graphic boundaries of Node 4 to include an additional portion of Block 7, Lot 6.02, in accordance with the requirements of the local development and housing law. This ordinance is up for adoption. Get a motion to open to the public on this ordinance?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're now open to the public,
God bless you.
to anyone wishes to speak on this ordinance. Seeing no one, motion to close to the public.
I'll make that motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can I get a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Ordinance 9, ordinance establishing Chapter 260-28A of the Code of the Township of Washington entitled Emergency Vehicle Access Only. This ordinance is up for adoption. You get a motion to open to the public on this ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone in the public wishing to speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, can I get a motion to close to the public?
Make that motion.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can we get a motion to adopt the ordinance?
Make that motion.
I'll second. Roll call?
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Ordinance 10, ordinance amending Chapter 2, Article 9 of the Code of the Township of Washington entitled Department of Law Enforcement. This ordinance is up for adoption. Can I get a motion to open to the public?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak on this ordinance? Seeing no one, motion to close to the public?
Make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I get a motion to adopt.
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 11, an ordinance of the Township of Washington appropriating certain monies from the capital fund balance account and providing for capital improvements and repairs to various municipal facilities and buildings. This ordinance is up for adoption. Motion to open to the public?
Make that motion.
I'll
Sec-
second. All in favor?
Aye.
We are now open to the public on this ordinance. Anyone wishing to speak on it? Seeing no one, motion to close.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Motion to adopt. You get a motion? I'll make the motion.
Second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 12, ordinance approving an agreement of sale between the New Jersey Department of Transportation and the Township of Washington for the conveyance of various parcels of real estate property known as Herf Lane. This ordinance is up for introduction only. You get a motion to introduce?
Make that motion.
I'll second.
You got it. Go ahead.
I'll second. Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 13, ordinance amending Chapter 285 of the Washington Township Code entitled zoning. This ordinance is for introduction only. Motion to introduce.
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Ordinance 14, ordinance amending Chapter 15 of the Code of the Township of Washington entitled Amusement Devices. This ordinance is up for introduction only. I get a motion to introduce.
Make that motion. I'll second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Moving on to resolutions. Before we start this, I would like to make a motion to pull Resolution 66 from when I read it and have that voted separately afterwards.
Make that motion.
You make the motion? I'll second. Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
And Mr. Perry?
Yes. Okay, resolutions. The following resolutions are by consent agenda and only require a vote for all listed. Each one must be read by title. If any member of the council wishes to have one removed and heard separately, they need to indicate it prior to the reading of the titles, with the exception of 66. Does anybody have any? Okay, well, here I go. Resolution 62, resolution canceling taxes for Ramon Rucci Jr., a totally disabled veteran at 207 Norberth Avenue, effective January 23rd, 2019. Resolution 63, resolution authorizing change order number 1, final for Washington Township various storm sewer pipe repairs project. Resolution 64, resolution awarding a bid to Top Dog Maintenance Incorporated for property services. Resolution 65, resolution authorizing emergency temporary 2019 budget appropriating for the Township of Washington. I need a motion to approve Resolution 62 to 65.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Yes. Okay, now we'll do Resolution 66. Resolution approving large gathering application for the Washington Township Rotary Club. I need a motion to approve.
Make that motion.
Second.
Roll call.
Any discussion?
Any discussion on it?
Mrs. Doherty?
Yes.
Ms. Pasqualone?
Recuse as I'm on the board.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Longfellow?
Yes.
Mr. Perry?
Recuse, as I'm a member of the Rotary also.
Motion carries.
Motion carries.
Okay, moving right along. Old business. Dana?
No old business.
None.
Nothing at this time.
No business.
Okay. New business?
None at this time.
None.
No.
Okay. Reports?
None.
Nothing.
There's some stuff going on as far as open space. We're waiting back, so hopefully have a report on that relatively soon. The Environmental Commission has a whole slew of events coming up for Earth Day. That information will be posted on our website. And that's all I have for now.
Okay.
The Washington Township Public School District, along with Municipal Alliance, will be presenting a seminar for parents and community members called Vaping Me Crazy. It addresses a very important topic described as a social health crisis in America that teaches us all some information about vaping, juuling, marijuana legalization, and pills. Sensitive topic, but important for all of us to understand in helping our children, our teenagers. It's good for educators, parents, and any community member who'd like to attend. So that is scheduled for Thursday, April 4th, from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. at the high school in the 1112 auditorium. Information will go out to families on the district webpage, so that should be available soon.
Jason?
There. Yes. Thank you, Joe. I wanted to talk a little bit about economic development and what has been going on in our committee as well as with our consultant. Today was a really big day. We actually had rolled something out, something new, creative, to get some feedback on what's happening with our Black Horse Pike. So it has been a sore subject for a long time, but I think we're finally on the move, and we've got a few initiatives that we've come up with. We actually worked on a roadshow event today where we spoke with local commercial brokers, and we partnered with a lot of the owners of the buildings as well as the management companies. We went on a 2-hour tour today up and down the Black Horse Pike. All the vacancies were there. The brokers were compliant. They came in, they allowed us into the buildings. They reviewed the buildings, square footage, pricing, cost to buy, to rent. So we went through a whole host of information. It was pretty impressive to see a lot of these longtime commercial brokers that came out to see these properties. They're well aware of them, but they never really got a chance to speak with other local brokers, network, communicate with each other, with the building owners as well as the commercial brokers. So I think we've really touched on something. This will help us move forward and hopefully get our Black Horse Pike cleaned up the way we wanted to. This is one of our gateways into the community, and this is one of my passions, is to really get that cleaned up. I believe 2019 is definitely going to be our year. Our new economic development coordinator has really worked hard on this. She has communicated for the last 6 to 8 months. She and actually Bob Timmons as well was huge in getting this taken care of today. We have Gloucester County, which is involved as well. There's many different initiatives that are out there that most folks aren't aware of. We enlightened most of the commercial brokers today with some information that they were unaware of. I think moving forward, I think we're going to start to see some movement on the Black Horse Pike. So I would just suggest staying tuned to that, and I'm really excited about it. Within the municipal building, we've had some training going on the last couple of weeks and moving forward. One of the most important trainings that we've had is for sexual harassment training. It's an effort to support the Township of Washington's commitment to maintaining a safe, positive, productive work environment that's free from sexual harassment. All department heads, supervisors, employees had attended a mandatory training on January 29th and 30th. I feel that this is an important issue and that employees should be educated on new information pertaining to this and what to do if they ever experience this in a workplace. We also have some training for customer service training. In addition to the sexual harassment training, we've had this. I felt that this was very important as well, since we are here serving the public every day. We want to know that we're doing everything that we can, and we're dedicated to our position. So with that being said, the training, customer service training, conducted for all customer service departments, including our tax office, the clerk's office, courts, Department of Public Works, as well as the construction office. The customer service training was conducted on 2 dates. First was last Friday, which was March 8th, and the second one is upcoming for this Friday, the 15th. The training covers topics such as customer service improvement, handling stressful and difficult situations, and problem resolution. Employees will also work in groups to practice finding solutions for these difficult situations. They're also able to ask any questions they may have pertaining to specific and customer service during this training. So again, my administration feels that this training is beneficial for our employees to learn new information pertaining to customer service as there as well. Thank you so much.
Okay, first off, I want to congratulate Chief Gersick and his staff on achieving accreditation. We found that out earlier in the week. They are now a PD model of excellence in New Jersey. There's only 25% of New Jersey police departments that can achieve this. We had it and lost it in 2013, and they worked diligently to get it back. So nice job to Chief Gersick and his staff.
Thank you. Congratulations.
The senior center recently had the roof replaced. They started yesterday, completed today, so that's a project that's out of the way. Thank you to the Public Works for getting that taken care of. And then something on notoriety, I guess it was early last week, there was a township resident that was kind of had a little bit of notoriety. His name was Christopher Paulies, but people will probably know him as King Kong Bundy. He was a 1974 Washington Township graduate, and he was a regional, won a lot of regional wrestling titles. And I guess he's best known for wrestling with in the WWF. So I just wanted to make notes that we lost a noted resident last week. That's all I have. Move on to public participation. Please follow the public decorum posted, which has been attached to the public agenda, and limit your comments to 5 minutes. Once you have completed your comments or questions, please take a seat. I will then ask if any member of the governing body or their designees wish to address your comments or questions. So with that, I get a motion to open to the public.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are now open to the public, if anyone wishes to speak.
Yep.
Mayor,
Excuse
Council
me,
President.
sir, please
Pull this
state your
down a little
name
bit.
and your address. Thank you.
My name is Kevin Nesko, Nesko, reside at 184 Deschler Boulevard in the borough of Clayton. And Mayor, Council President, Council Vice President, members, my wife and I have published the Clayton Free Press for the last year plus, about, 14 months now. Community news organization focused exclusively on what's going on in the borough of Clayton. We've been asked, because we circulate over 10,000 copies of this through 180 different locations from Vineland up to Woodbury, with a heavy concentration here in the township and Monroe and Glassboro. We've been asked to expand our coverage. So we're going to be launching a new publication called the New Jersey Free Press. It's going to be a monthly. It will also be distributed through the same locations that the current paper is distributed. We're going to be very much looking forward to working closely with the township as well as with Glassboro and Monroe, the other areas that we're going to be focusing on. We're an independent publication. We're nonpartisan. We don't get involved in local politics, except in Clayton, but we're not in Clayton. We're in the township. We're going to be recognizing the people, the unsung heroes who work for your township, who work in your community, in your first responders, to make sure that they get the recognition that the other publications, the other news publications, don't pay attention to, because it's just no money in that kind of a thing. We generate our revenue through advertising. And we're very much looking forward to working with you, and hopefully working with you to get maybe a column on a regular basis, if that's possible, or articles from you. We also, by the way, have a monthly radio program on WVLT, and we're going to be inviting your folks to join us on that radio program as well. Any questions? I'd like to, if I can, pass out copies of this for you. Sure. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is our Clayton Free Press. The new publication will be coming out
Thank you.
end of May, month of June.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. How are you? Thank you. Yes, we have.
Okay, is there anyone else from the public that wishes to speak at this time? Seeing no one, can I get a motion to close to the public?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are now closed to the public. Before we adjourn, our clerk, Leo himself, would like to say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. President. I've come to grow and particularly have a lot of passion for my job, but also from the residents of Washington Township. I'm moving on from this position, leaving, going to another municipality. It's kind of a heavy heart. I've enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed the public. I've enjoyed working with every member here on council, the mayor, BA, and the solicitor. I think that the clerk's office has come together as a strong team. We've accomplished a lot as that team. Many people don't know, but in the clerk's office, we are extremely busy. Sometimes it looks like we're not, but we handle over 100 vital statistic applications. That's birth certificates, death certificates, and marriage licenses on average per week. We handle over 1,000 businesses applications over the year. We do 3,000 dogs. We handle bingos and raffles. We handled 750 Oprahs last year, and we'll probably break 1,000 this year. Some of those Oprahs are Open Public Records Act requests from the public, and some are very easy, and some are quite involved and take days to do. This administration has been excellent. I've been in government for well over 40 years. I can say this is probably the best administration I've seen in my time in government, and I've seen quite a few. They've made progress. They continue to go forward and make progress. They have the township's best interest in heart in what they do. They're working on security updates because they care about the staff. They continue to improve facilities and roads. They sold a distribution license this year, which will bring more revenue into the township. Equipment, they've decided to go forward, which is a big step for any municipality, to start digitizing their records and preserving them for the future. We're probably one of 3 in the county that are only doing that. And you can imagine we have many, many records in the construction department. Construction department is extremely busy. Even though you may not see it, they're doing permits. Their staff is extremely busy. And of course, the bottom line, the mayor brought up about customer service training. Everybody I've seen here and staff are all customer oriented. They want to help everybody. They want everybody to go away, hopefully a little more satisfied and a little more happy. And that even goes for our tax department. I know everybody sometimes dreads paying. I got to pay my taxes, but their department has been great. They're very friendly and they're very helpful. I know I leave a clerk's team in place that is strong, that will go forward and continue to do all the things that council needs. I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank all of you, and I sincerely hope the best and wish the best for the Township of Washington. They are headed on the right track, and they're going forward, and they're doing a lot of things positive for the Township. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
And on a sad note, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make that motion.
Second.
Wait a second, can't we say a few funny things about?
Sure.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a tender. I won't say it. But I just do want to say that Leo and I have to work closely together, as most solicitors and clerks do, and I just want to thank him for all of his hard work during the last 2+ years. It's been very challenging at times for many, many reasons, and we both lived up to that challenge, and your office has really met and overcome a lot of those challenges. So thank you for all your hard work.
I appreciate that, Stuart.
Yes, thank you, Leo.
Thank
luck,
you.
sir.
Exceptional job.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I
Thank
guess
you.
since you had to say something, I was going to save it. But when I first ran for election, I mean, it was an eye-opening experience, and quite frankly, this man here helped me out a whole lot. He taught me a whole lot. I continue to learn a lot from him, and I'm going to sorely miss him. I really going to miss him. So, good luck in your next endeavor, and stay in touch.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Leo, for everything you've done and all the help you provided over the last couple of years. I wish you the best of luck in your new role.
Thank you. I'm only a phone call away. Please call me if you need something.
Yeah,
Thanks, Leo.
but you'll see our name and you'll just go, okay. We had a motion, we get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our
Don't disappear. We have documents to
our
sign.
next meeting will be on March 27th.